Jenny had always felt like she was being watched. At first, she just brushed it off as paranoia. But as the weeks went by, the feeling only grew stronger. She would see the same car parked outside her house every day, and when she walked to work, she could feel someone's eyes on her. She tried to tell herself it was just her imagination, but deep down she knew something was wrong. One night, as she was walking home from a friend's house, she heard footsteps behind her. She turned around, but there was no one there. She quickened her pace, her heart pounding in her chest. Just as she reached her front door, she felt a hand on her shoulder. She spun around, ready to fight, but it was just her neighbor, Mr. Jenkins. "Sorry to startle you, dear," he said with a kindly smile. "I saw you walking home and thought I would walk with you to make sure you got home safe." Jenny thanked him and hurried inside, locking the door behind her. She couldn't shake the feeling that she was still being watched. The next day, she decided to take matters into her own hands. She followed the car that had been parked outside her house and discovered that it belonged to her stalker, her ex-boyfriend, whom she had thought was out of her life for good. She went to the police, but they didn't believe her. They told her she was just being paranoid and that her ex was probably just trying to get her attention. But Jenny knew the truth. He was out there, watching her every move, waiting for the right moment to strike. And she had nowhere to turn for help. Jenny sat in her living room, listening to the rain pelt against her windows and wondering when her ex will make his move. Jenny spent the next few weeks in a state of constant fear, always looking over her shoulder and jumping at the slightest noise. She even started carrying a can of pepper spray with her wherever she went. She tried to stay out of sight as much as possible, but her ex was always one step ahead of her. She would see him watching her from afar, a sinister smile on his face. One night, Jenny couldn't take it anymore. She was tired of living in fear and decided to confront her ex once and for all. She knew it was risky, but she had to do something before he hurt her or someone else. She gathered all her courage and walked up to him, demanding that he leave her alone and never come near her again. To her surprise, he didn't try to hurt her or argue with her. Instead, he just looked at her with a sad expression and said, "I'm sorry, Jenny. I didn't mean to scare you. I just miss you and wanted to see you again." Jenny was shocked. She had never thought her ex was capable of feeling remorse. But as she looked into his eyes, she saw the pain and desperation of a man who had lost everything. She couldn't stay mad at him, and in that moment, she realized that she still cared about him. They talked for hours, and Jenny learned that her ex had been struggling with depression and addiction since their breakup. He had made some terrible mistakes, but he was truly sorry and wanted to make things right. Jenny decided to give him another chance. It wasn't easy, and they had a lot of work to do, but they were both committed to making their relationship stronger than ever. And as they walked home together that night, hand in hand, Jenny knew that they would never have to be afraid again.
Leave a like and subscribe for more scary stories.